What's happening, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Cash Talks, the place where you guys get to become the best version of yourselves. So in this video, I'm going to be going through the much requested question of why I dropped out of UCL University in London. Now, obviously there's so much to say about this. So in this video, I'm going to be going through the three main reasons why I dropped out, the run up to me dropping out, and in hindsight, what I maybe should have done, and also maybe what you should be doing in this decision-making process. So I started with the university with coming into first year and kind of having that typical university experience. What that meant was clubbing, it meant a great social life, it meant partying, it meant never really going into lectures. It was just like complete fun. And what happened was, alongside having all this fun, I decided to naturally join a few societies at university. So I joined a society called KCSOC. Now, KCSOC is the society that basically transformed my life, and I'm going to get into that in this video. So I'm going to leave their link down below so you can actually go check them out at the end of this video. But yeah, I joined KCSOC, and what they are is basically a spiritual development society. They get you basically thinking really, really deep. So questions like, what would you do if you had 24 hours to live? Or why do bad things happen to good people? But then also practical self-development tips on how to manage stress and stuff. So they basically take wisdom from ancient scriptures and apply it to modern day and how you can kind of better yourself, which is basically what I tried to do with this channel. So I joined this university society alongside doing everything else. So throughout my first year, I was kind of understanding more about this spiritual development, understanding more about myself, getting to know different concepts and ideas, whilst also having the typical university experience. Then what happened, second year came along. Now at this point, what had happened was I'd spent the summer and also throughout the year attending all these meditation retreats with KCSOC, and then also kind of going on their summer retreat as well, where I spent like 10 days associating with spiritually developed people, reading loads of books, associating with other like-minded individuals, stuff like that. And then I came into second year and was like, okay, let me actually consider taking this seriously. So I started reading a lot more, listening to a lot more talks, attending a lot more of their events and stuff and courses. I started understanding more about myself and what I wanted in life. So I recently made a video on understanding what you want to do with your life, and I go into concepts like Dharma and Ikigai. So definitely go check out that video. I'll leave a link down in the description below. And in that video, I basically explain how you kind of figure out what to do with your life. And I actually understood a lot of these concepts from attending these KCSOC events and then also my own research. So I was basically just kind of figuring things out in second year. I was obviously having my typical uni life, but I was also trying to study a lot more and understand this process and practice mantra meditation and everything else. So by the end of second year, I kind of understood that I knew what I wanted and university wasn't helping me. See, this society was so powerful because it's more than just the society. The knowledge that they provided me was in understanding so much about myself. Literally like how I'm kind of speaking about this stuff to you guys on this YouTube channel, I was getting that and then also doing my own kind of spiritual self-development. And so when I came to the understanding that, okay, this isn't what I want from life, and I felt so internally misaligned because I was doing a course I really didn't agree with in terms of what I wanted to do with my life. So then came the reasons for me choosing to actually drop out. So number one was the practicality. And I think you should assess this if you're considering dropping out. See, I knew deep down that if I was to drop out, I could learn any skill and still be okay. But that was a conversation I had to have with myself. See, growing up, I knew if I put my mind to anything, I can learn that skill no matter what. If I needed to provide for my family and I had to learn coding, the thing I hate the most, I'll learn it. And I'll make sure I learn it well to earn enough money. Plus, I had a bank of skills because I'd run multiple businesses. So I knew, okay, I can run a business, I can do digital marketing, I can grow Instagram pages, I can do Facebook ads, Instagram ads, etc. So I kind of, because I'd been experimenting with my life already and doing different side projects and different services and charity projects, which I strongly encourage you guys to do, I'd understood and developed a lot of more skills. So I was able to, when it came to the decision of dropping out, feel a lot more comfortable dropping out because I knew I could kind of save myself if things hit the fan. And honestly, if you're in this position and you're not sure if you even have any skills, you can learn any skill, believe me, with the power of the internet. I've learned all of my skills from YouTube. I'm not even joking. Everything I know to this day has been from YouTube, books, mentors, teachers. Like, it's never really been from taking a specific degree or course or whatever. It's just been through experimentation and looking online what I can learn. And that's always how it's been. So you can learn a lot. Like literally, I'm pretty sure if you wanted to learn coding from A to Z, you could know it inside out just through YouTube videos. And also, before I left university, I secured an internship. That was one big thing that a lot of people miss out. Like, I don't say to just drop out and take big risks. I always say to also protect your downside. And I knew once I secured the internship, okay, I can do things. I can get a job if needs be. I can, secure myself if needs be. I reached out to this CEO literally on LinkedIn and I just said, hey, let me work for you for free, and I secured the internship. I just knew that with my charisma, with my abilities that I've developed over time and skills, I was able to secure something if needs be. Okay, so the next reason why I dropped out was my motivation. So obviously I said I went through understanding Ikigai, Dharma. I knew kind of this didn't align with what I wanted from life. I always knew deep down I wanted to do something big. I wanted to do speaking engagements. I wanted to inspire others. I wanted to help others. I wanted to do charity projects. I wanted to run businesses. I knew none of this really aligned with that. So I knew deep down it didn't align. And my gut always said, you should drop out. Now, the thing about your gut is it can always be clouded. So you need to really make sure your gut knows what it's talking about. And the way to do that is to make sure that you firstly don't have any bad habits. If you're drinking loads and going out, and if you're waking up late, sleeping late, all of that stuff, eating really bad, you're not gonna have a clear understanding of what your gut wants because your emotions are gonna cloud everything. So I had to really make sure that my gut knew what it was talking about. And prayer comes into that, deep reflection comes into that, truly trying to understand yourself comes into all of that. And number 3 was the lifestyle. I needed to get away from the lifestyle. And that was just a personal decision for me. I knew me sticking around this area, sticking around this environment, sticking around these types of people, I was never gonna get to where I wanted to be. It was a matter of, clubbing for me was just taking me away from my goal. Partying for me was taking me away from my goal. Just the uni lifestyle wasn't bringing me closer to my goal. And I know what you're probably thinking, and I'll get to that at the end of this video, don't worry. And so I just knew deep down that in my gut that I needed to make this decision, whether it's for my career or whether it's just for me to grow and personally develop. And I needed to get away from that environment in order to do that. Now, thoughts in hindsight. Okay, so firstly about the lifestyle, I could have, if I really wanted to, I could have stayed in that lifestyle and just been better. I could have had a better routine, stopped myself from choosing to go clubbing. I could have associated with different types of people. Like, one thing for sure was I was attending these KC Stock events, but I never really spent time with those types of people. And that was the mistake I made. I think if I made more of an effort spending time with those types of people, had more of a routine, adopted better habits, basically personally developed inside university, I probably would have been able to stay throughout university and also achieve what I wanted to achieve. I could have run my business alongside of it, for example. But I didn't do that, and I think that was just the decision I had to make. I just wanted to hit the deep end and learn to swim, and that was just me as a person. But again, this all comes with analyzing you. As for the concept of finishing your degree, again, I could have, it was only one more year left. I could have probably finished the degree, or I could have at least done the exam, so I could have had the opportunity to go back if things hit the fan. But, again, it all comes down to analyzing you. I knew deep down that if I carried on with that year, or if I had it as a backup plan, a plan B, I probably would have gone back, and I probably would have joined the rat race and went into a graduate scheme and then carried on with it and just never really did what I actually did. Again, I'm not saying anything is wrong with the graduate scheme. I think they are phenomenal opportunities for you to learn so much. And I don't think dropping out of university is for everyone. And that's what I want to make really, really clear. It's not for everyone. And just because you're watching this video and you may feel, oh, maybe I should do it, that's not necessarily the case. Like, please remember that it is a really, really difficult decision, and what comes after is really, really hard. But I knew I didn't want a graduate scheme. I knew I didn't want to go into that. The other thing I had to come to terms with was my ego. See, if all else hit the fan and I had to go back to uni, I had to be okay with that. And that was one thing I had to really be okay with and have a conversation with myself when dropping out of university. I had to be okay with the fact that if things hit the fan, am I gonna be okay going back to university in a almost humiliating way, because everyone knows that I've dropped out. Okay, so what happened after, and this is what I want to make clear. If this happens to you, remember, you don't know what's coming. Things will come at you left, right, and center, and you won't even see it. All my friends left me, and I never expected that. And it was because I was just no longer the guy on the scene anymore. I was no longer doing the activities that they would do. I wouldn't associate with the types of people that they would associate. So naturally, friends just drifted. And it wasn't really on bad terms. It was just naturally, we all drifted apart, and I became quite lonely. So I strongly recommend that you have a support network around you in the process, a really good support network. Now I'm in a place where I have a strong support network through associating with these people who attended Casey's talk. I reconnected back with them after, but you know, before then it was really difficult. You're gonna have moments of fear, you're gonna have moments of doubt, and you're gonna be questioning yourself, like, well, did I make the right decision, etc. But this is where faith in yourself comes in. Having faith in a higher power really helps, whether it's God, whether it's the universe, a living entity, whatever it is, it really does help. And the other promise you really need to make to yourself is that you will keep going and keep personally developing. It's very easy to drop out and just almost become depressed, because you can just sit at home all day and do absolutely nothing with your life. But you need to push. And the question is, will you be able to push? Sometimes people need to be in an organization for them to feel pushed. You know, a school pushes you, a university pushes you, like deadlines keep you going. Other people prefer working alone and prefer pushing themselves. You may be both. It all comes down to analyzing yourself. So yeah, those are just my thoughts on it. Obviously there's a lot more to say. So if you guys want me to make a part 2, let me know. I hope you like this video, because I actually, this is just, as you can tell, it's literally just me just speaking into a camera. I haven't planned this video at all. I was just like, hey, you guys want to get to know me. I seem to get a lot of DM requests about it, and you want to know my story. This is part 1, I guess, of my story. So I hope you guys like it. Definitely follow me on Instagram. You can DM me there, or you can comment down below. Ideally comment down below to help the video. Definitely like this video, and obviously hit subscribe and that little bell thingy so that you get a notification, because obviously this is the channel where you're going to become the best version of yourself. So definitely subscribe. I will catch you next Sunday, 5 p.m. once again. Cash Talks is out.